time it is. It's that official time. When we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape. Definitely bringing you the power of pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Power Slam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
Episode 479, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pancakes and Power Slam Show. This is Dr. Chris Featherstone getting live and living, color and funky like among if you will, baby. Yes, that's what we do, baby. That's what we do. 479, baby. That's what we do. Starkhead 85, baby. Live tour, Starkhead 85. Road tour, baby. Ric Flair. You got something I want, baby. You got something I want, Ric Flair. And you know what that is, baby? That's a world's heavyweight championship, baby. That's what I want, baby. It's Ric Flair, Starcade, baby. That's what we do. You put hard times on Dusty Rhodes, baby. You put hard times on Dusty Rhodes. The American Dream, baby. My boy Cody came back as the American Dream. AEW Double or Nothing, baby. He went against the Anthony Go-Go, baby. Gut punch, baby. Got him in a vertebraker. The heartquaker, the beat maker, baby. And they got that 1, 2, 3, baby. Or the Anthony Go-Go, the Olympic, UK, baby. It don't matter if you're from the UK. It don't matter where you are. When you get a taste of Cody Rhodes, baby, with the vertebraker, you're going to be lights out, baby. And I ain't playing, baby. Because that's what we do in the Rhodes house, baby. That's what we do in the Rhodes house, baby. That's what we do. We put people in the backs, baby. We kick them in the butt. And we say, hey, a computer took your place, daddy. We show them hard times in the Rhodes place, baby. We show them hard times in the Rhodes house, baby. We show them hard times in Daly's place, baby. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, Double or Nothing. Hard times, baby. We put hard times on Anthony Go-Go, baby. We put hard times on them, baby. Hard time blues, baby. All right. So how was AEW Double or Nothing to y'all? What's up, Marissa? Josh says A+ because it was awesome. You've seen one episode of it and understand why people watch it. Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. It was, I mean, I like AEW. I mean, it's I'm not a huge fan, but it's a breath of fresh air, you know. It's a breath of fresh air in a way, because you know, it's okay. You know, AEW's okay. AEW's okay. I prefer watching over NXT. Actually, I prefer the NXT roster better, but and their potential. I would say their potential to do well. I don't think NXT has their talent's really good. I don't think their star power is good. I think NXT is lacking star power tremendously. Although Bronson Reed is actually one of my favorite wrestlers. Period. I think they should push him to the moon. I think he should be NXT champion by the time WrestleMania comes around next year. I think he should lose his what is this? This is June now. I think he should lose his North American Championship around November time. And probably right before SummerSlam. I mean, Survivor Series. November, right before Survivor Series. So he can have, about 4.5 months to build up to become NXT champion. Or if you want to give him a little bit more time, he can lose in October, or he can lose in if they do a championship thing in September. I wouldn't give him a short run though. Probably give him 4 months. So that'll be cool. Then I give about 5 months to be able to become NXT champ. But Bronson Reed is your guy. But I mean, if you're trying to develop new stars, the star you should build is Bronson Reed. Give him an NXT, have him dethrone Karrion Kross. He's huge. He's the only person who really looks like they can dethrone Karrion Kross. And so I would put the Rockets on him and push him to the moon, as Cameron Grimes would say. And yeah, I would give him an NXT run, NXT title run. And when he loses the championship, that's him basically starting his main roster kind of transition, I guess you could say. And I wouldn't do a Keith Lee. They did a terrible job with Keith Lee. Keith Lee looked like a normal guy when he came to the main roster. He just looked like a normal guy. He was beating people like Dolph Ziggler. He beat Randy Orton, which was a big deal. But from the jump, he was shuffled in the Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Randy Orton feud. And it was like, you just look like a normal guy. I mean, there was something. He's huge and intimidating NXT. He looked the part. He was awesome. He was dual champion at one time, which was really weird to me because somehow when he gets 2 belts, when he's dual champion, that he has to relinquish one. But why did y'all make him dual champion if he had to get rid of one? Why did y'all even have both belts on the line? That was weird. WWE does some weird things that they expect people to forget. But no, I have a really good memory. I don't forget stuff like that. It didn't make any sense. And so then they have them lose to Karrion Kross on his way up to the main roster. And as we see, his main roster days have been garbage. And he's a very, very enigmatic. What word am I looking for? He's an anomaly. That's the word I'm looking for. He's an anomaly because he's so agile. He's like a Black Vader. Super agile, huge guy, super agile. I compared Keith Lee to a black version of Vader because he's intimidating, he's ground and pound, but he's agile at the same time. And so, but they didn't, just like how they butchered Vader's WWE career early on, they've done that to Keith Lee on the main roster, unfortunately. So, too bad for Keith Lee because he has a ton of potential. And I hope they don't do that to Bronson Reed. I mean, because they've made a mistake doing that with Keith Lee. I hope they don't do that with Bronson Reed. They need to push Bronson Reed to the moon. Like even when he goes up to the main roster, They need to push him to the moon because all this 50-50 stuff, you're not really pushing anybody. You're not pushing anybody. You're just making everybody feel the same. Everybody just feels same plane. There's nobody who sticks out except for Roman Reigns, but everybody else just feels on a plane. Oh, he wins this week. It goes back down. Oh, he wins this week. It goes back down. Everybody just feels on the same plane. And how in the world can you? That's like a lot of cartoon characters have like a bunch of druids and a bunch of like like minions that kind of fight with them. When people are like doing the superhero shows, it makes it feel like the villain is like on an equal plane with like his minions. And he doesn't stand out that way. Like, I'm not intimidated more by you if you're just as weak and just, and mindless as your minions are, and it's like, I'm not intimidated by you. That's how WWE's really booked their characters. So at least NXT is a safe space right now to really build some people. And Bronson Reed can definitely be one of those people. Thoughts on Cena coming back? I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm totally fine. I have no issue with Cena Reigns at SummerSlam. Zero. Because if all this is for the purpose of building Reigns up, just like Edge and Daniel Bryan, two big names, Hall of Famer and Edge, to build Reigns up. They built him up at WrestleMania using Edge and Bryan. They built him up, at SummerSlam using Cena. At this point of how they're building Roman Reigns, Cena is really the only person that's on a level of larger than life, transcending the business as Roman Reigns is. Nobody else is. They've done a poor job booking everybody else as a babyface, and so they had to, they had to go to the well and get Cena. But I think that he definitely has that star power to help Roman Reigns become a bigger heel. And nobody else does. Nobody has the star power and on SmackDown as a babyface right now that would help Roman Reigns become an even bigger heel. Right now, if he beats anybody like a Cesaro or Kevin Owens, it doesn't really make him a stronger heel because those people are prone to lose to anybody else. He's not really doing anything that takes him even to a further level because it's not making him a more hated because he beat someone who's like everybody's hero or very popular. As far as star power is concerned, Cena would be that guy. So I have no issues. I have no issues with that whatsoever. Actually, I support it. I'm an advocate, as Paul Heyman would say. I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate of it, and I think it's a good call. So, and I said this before. I think next should be Goldberg as far as building Reigns up. I'm cool with Goldberg losing against Reigns at Royal Rumble. The only or Survivor Series. The only caveat I have with that is Goldberg is at a point right now in his career where like he's starting to lose that legendary status, because when you have someone that just comes in and just loses, over and over and over again, you kind of lose that legendary status. And especially if someone was so dominant as Goldberg, like his whole gimmick was come in, dominate, leave. Now, if he's doing longer matches and losing them, that's losing his legendary. Like the legend was built off of that, and you're coming in, at 55 years old, just almost at 55 years old, doing stuff like that, that you're going away from what built your legend. And I'm not a fan of that at all. I mean, I'm a Goldberg guy, and just coming in and losing, losing against Braun and losing against Drew, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't think they should do that. Cena, on the other hand, he's built himself up, for 15 years. He's built his resume up for 15 years as being, the face of WWE for at least 12 of them. You know what I mean? So him losing a set of matches, it it, it means more than Goldberg, because Goldberg, he came in, he dominated, he leave. He's not supposed to lose. Goldberg's character, like he's not supposed to lose. Cena can lose and make someone else look good. Like Goldberg, if he loses, he needs to make someone look good. And like the set of losses that he's already acquired over the past couple of years, it wouldn't make Roman Reigns look as good because he lost against Taker. He lost against Braun, lost against Drew. So all those losses, Goldberg losing those set of times, that doesn't help. That doesn't help Goldberg's legacy, and it wouldn't really help Reigns. I'm just saying people who have names, but really, honestly, if they just announce it, maybe at SummerSlam, then have a big fight feel to it, only because they haven't built enough baby faces to really put him over at this point as far as star power is concerned. And they haven't built enough baby faces that can afford a loss. That's a big deal. You want baby faces who can afford a loss. Someone like a Big E right now can afford a loss against Roman Reigns. So even Cesaro, he lost against him, but his character wasn't strong enough as a babyface. They didn't really build him strong enough as a babyface to make his loss be okay. Like there's not a lot of baby faces who can afford a loss right now. So I'm cool with Cena being that guy for now. As far as who's next, it may be Goldberg, but they need to really do some much better job building up baby faces who transcend the business. B plus Aaron says, okay. The People's Wrestling Channel, Pro Wrestling Tees Goldman's, Ricky says. Yeah, I'll give you a shout out because you're a patron. Well, I think of Double or Nothing. I think Double or Nothing was a solid show, actually. I think it was a solid show. I liked it. And let's see. Let me go through the matches. Let's see. Let me go through the matches. Let me find this out. All right. I didn't watch the pre-show. I figured Sarria Deep was going to win. I wonder who's going to dethrone her from that World Women's the Women's Championship. How long she had it? She's had it since I know she beat Thunder Rosa. She beat her in October of 2020. It doesn't seem like that long. I remember when they showed footage of her winning, but it's been 8 months. Well, this is the 8th month. It's been a little over 7. It's like 7 months and a week. But she's been all right. Very nice. Very nice, Serena Deeb. Very nice. I wonder who's next. It's crazy that Jazz had the title. She won it September 16th, 2016. and she had to vacate it on April 22nd, 2019, after having it for 2.5 years to the medical and personal reasons. So interesting. Yep, but Serena Deeb. Congratulations to Serena Deeb. Now, from the legacy of the reigns of women's champions, of course, Moolah is up there with nearly 10,000 days. Isn't that nuts? Debbie Combs, almost 3,500 days. Number 3, the third longest NWA world champion in history is Jazz. Kudos to Jazz, ladies and gentlemen. And Serena Deeb is number 17. So cool beans. I wonder who's going to dethrone her. It's cool. It's cool to see that she went from the straight edge society to 8 months so far as the world women's champion. Paige and Brian Cage, that was it felt good. It was, the fans were back. I would say that Dynamite felt good too. Dynamite had a really good feel to it because it was a full capacity crowd, and we haven't seen that in a year and a half. So kudos to AEW, man. Kudos to AEW for bringing back a full capacity crowd, and you could tell, man. The energy was different. I got to give it to them. I got to give it to AEW for Dynamite. I got to give it to AEW for Double or Nothing. The energy was just really good. It was just felt awesome. Adam Page was super over, and I really like Adam Page. I've interviewed both of them on my show, actually, Adam Page and Brian Cage. So that's pretty cool. Good match. I think Adam Page should have went over. Looks like Brian Cage is slowly making a babyface turn, which I'm cool with. So that was a good way to start. Young Bucks against Kingston and Moxley. There was 2 matches I was really looking forward to. That was one of them because I like Eddie Kingston. And I like him teaming with Moxley. I think they should have put it on Kingston and Moxley, but I had a feeling that the Young Bucks were going to win, and they did, but it was a good match, though. Jungle Boy winning the Casino Battle Royal. I've noticed that Jungle Boy, like they're doing a gimmick with Jungle Boy winning the Battle Royals. Or coming close to it. I mean, to be honest with you, there wasn't a lot of main event star power there anyways, but I definitely think Christian Cage should have won. I mean, you're bringing Christian Cage is coming back to AEW. I mean, coming to AEW, coming back to wrestling. You got to do a better job with making him feel like a main eventer. I wonder if he wants to do this. I'm not sure, but I'm a big Christian fan, and he doesn't. I mean, he's starting to feel like a mid Carter again, And he came in like teasing a feud with Kenny Omega, and he goes from that to feuding with Team Taz, and it's like, I mean, I'm okay with Team Taz being like a placeholder in the beginning. I'm not, I'm not. I don't care. I'm not too critical of that. But you're doing like Matt Sydal, Frankie Kazarian, it's like, and I like both of them. I like Kazarian and Sydal. I've had Sydal on my show multiple times, but I'm like he doesn't feel like a main eventer. Cody Rhodes against Anthony Ogogo. That was actually a pretty poor match. I mean, Anthony Ogogo is so green, man. It's just, and again, it goes back to, I was having a conversation with a close friend about this. It is one of the most ridiculous things for a promoter or a wrestling owner, or whoever who's ever calling the shots, It is one of the worst things in the world for someone to say that baby faces and heels don't matter. Because if Cody was booked as a 50-50, some cheer, some boo, that would absolutely ruin whatever they had in mind for Anthony Ogogo. The only reason why Anthony Ogogo made a little bit of sense, a little bit. The only reason why he made a little bit of sense is because Cody Rhodes is being booked as a white meat babyface. And the more white meat baby face he looks like, the more heelish Anthony Ogogo looks. And that's exactly what wrestling should do. It should build stars by having the villain attack the baby face, the hero. Cody Rhodes, he's coming back to American Dream, baby. It's coming back to American Dream gimmick. All of that stuff has that really white meat baby face type of feel to it. The fans were eating it up, getting so much into it, getting so much to his promos. And Anthony Ogogo came in with barely any type of, notoriety other than, of course, his accolades athletically, which is great. But just from a wrestling standpoint, nobody knows who this guy is, and he came in from a faction that is still relatively new, that doesn't have any stars in it really, that have some relative no names, with the exception of maybe Aaron Solo, only because he's Bailey's ex-fiance. So you have a list of names that are from the training facility, and you really don't know. The only reason why they make sense and they're feeling more important than what they would have been another time is because QT Marshall turned on Cody Rhodes, who is being booked as a straight up babyface right now. If it was the 50-50, cheer, boo, yay, boo stuff, Ogogo would look he would look as green as he is in the ring, and that doesn't help his character. Miro and Archer, I mean, it was what it was. I'm actually friends with Lance Archer, and super cool guy. I don't know exactly what they're doing with Archer. Is he a babyface? Is he a heel? He kind of was helping Pac, but Pac's a heel though, but was kind of getting jumped by heels, so it made him a babyface because he was getting jumped by the Butcher and the Blade when Eddie Kingston was there. Lance Archer was making the save, and then he goes and he kind of calls out Sting though, but that only lasts for a second, and then he tries to go for Miro, but Miro's definitely a heel. But when Miro tries to elicit cheers, but at the same time he gives people the arm treatment, the flipping the arm treatment, so he doesn't so he gets booed. And now but Lance Archer kind of wants to take care of so that would kind of make him the face. And look, here's the thing. This stuff is confusing. You need to do a better job building your stars as baby faces or heels, period. Point blank. Britt Baker winning was emotional, and she's a really good heel for some reason. Sometimes people are such good heels that people enjoy cheering them. And you're just going to have to make some changes if you need to. You have to make some adjustments. And if she needs to be a cocky baby face, you need to make some adjustments, because one thing you don't want her to do is you don't want her to get cheered as a baby face, but still be a heel and beat baby faces who you're trying to build up. And they're no longer going to be built up because they're going to be being booed because a heel who's being cheered is feuding with the baby face that isn't as popular. So you're going to have to either make some adjustments and make her a baby face. Maybe have Rebel try to attack her or something like that because she wants the title. Easy way to get her into a baby face. Or you're really going to have to start cutting promos toward the crowd. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. A lot of times people call it taboo as far as getting cheap heat, but people would get cheap heat all the time in the old school wrestling. What I like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape, no good warthogs, keep the noise down while I show you what a real sexy man looks like. Hit the music. Ravishing Rick Rude, of course. You know what I mean? And it's like you used to get cheap heat, and that's how people got over back in the day. But for some reason, people are trying to cut promos against the other wrestler, which isn't bad, but you're going to have to start getting some cheap heat. Jericho's pretty good with the cheap heat, but like it just seems like the cheap heat's a lost art nowadays. And that's one of the things that really gets people like into uh enjoying characters. Pac for a while, he was really good at getting heat. He still does it, but it doesn't really mean any much anymore because they've kind of booked him as a babyface and kind of booked him as a heel. He would come in and like act as he's going to go up the ropes to do his pose, and then he just stops and shakes his head. I like that. For a while, he didn't even do the red arrow, I think it's called, and so he wouldn't even do that. So he was really playing to the crowd, as a heel. And I like that. That was good. But what happened to cheap heat, man? It's terrible. So yeah, her winning was, I knew that was going to happen. I think just about everybody did. My favorite part of the night, Darby Allin and Sting defeating Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. That was actually a pretty good match. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. Fans were super into it, man. It was making me feel like a kid how much the fans got this one really right, man. Like Sting and Darby Allin were super over from their entrances. And it was just good to see. It was a really feel-good match. If there's any match that I would watch again from Double or Nothing, it would be this one. I was a big fan of it. Sting was protected of the minus the suplex from the beginning, in the beginning. But clearly, 5 years after he retired, at 62 years old, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget he's doing diving cross body blocks off of, the chips. Probably 8 feet, to the floor at 62. He's doing all this at 62. He's doing scorpion death drops. That was a really good counter, by the way. That was well done as far as whoever came up with that idea. Well done. He's turned from a stunner to a scorpion death drop. That was actually really good. Fans were into it. Sting looked good. Darby, looked as wild and crazy as always. It was a really good match, man. This was my favorite part of Double or Nothing, hands down. Of course, I'm biased because Sting is my all-time favorite, but I'll be honest. There's been times where I've criticized Jericho about the way he looks and, botches and things like that, and he's in my top 5 of all time. So, and I told you before, I was skeptical of Sting coming in wrestling. I think it protects him by having him in tag matches with someone like a Darby Allin who's super over. It's a win-win because Darby Allin's super over. Sting does nothing, as Tony Schiavone, I believe, said in the match. But he's his mentor. Jim Ross, I think he said it too. I think one of them said it, and then just about all of them alluded to it. Mentor, like he has that feel to it, mentor-mentee feel to it. And so I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. I think it's cool, and let it ride, man. Look, there's a part of me thinking in my head like Darby Allin versus Sting against Darby Allin and Sting versus Young Bucks at all out. I would be a fan of that. I would be a fan of Darby Allin and Sting beating the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And I got a really good feeling the fans would like that too. And the fans would probably go berserk if that happened. That would be a really good match to either main event all out or have that semi-main spot. Kenny Omega against Orange Cassidy and Pac was good. It was a good match, solid match, predictable though. I think everybody knew that Kenny Omega was going to win, and really didn't. I mean, there wasn't any. There's nothing about Orange Cassidy or Pac that's really threatening on the top of the card that made it seem like Kenny Omega had any shot of not winning. Inner Circle defeating the Pinnacle. Cool match. It was interesting how they went into different parts of the match. It was kind of different than last year a lot because a lot of them was, I mean, they were in the stadium and they were all just kind of collected together. It was a different type of feel, but this year was more like solo fights at different parts of the stadium. And so then they had that, and of course at the end with Sean Spears and Sammy Guevara, that was pretty cool. So that was a different take on it, but overall it was solid. You know, it was solid. So yeah, I'd say B plus. I think I'd give it a B plus. I think it was pretty solid. Nice T-shirt. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Thoughts on WWE working with who do I think can beat Deeb? They might do a Thunder Rosa again. Which I'm cool unless they bring in like an Allison Kay. But as far as the people who are there now, I would say either Thunder Rosa or Serena Deeb's kind of playing. She's not really she's more of a baby face, but there's a lot of baby faces that go against each other. I can see someone like either Nyla Rose or Jade Cargill. They may go the NWA title route, but I would say not anywhere, not no time soon though, because she's got a lot of work to do. She looks phenomenal, but she's got a lot of work to do. Lots of work to do. Chris said B. All I miss is the Dusty Dance, baby. The Dusty Dance. You yellow dog. Dusty Dance, baby. What I think of RK Bro? I was interested. They were growing on me for a little bit, but it seems like they're kind of going the heel route, but not really. It's just like, you know what? I really don't have time to try to be figuring this stuff out or trying to. Yes, Rock holds it to Reigns holds it to Mania. Absolutely. I reckon, yeah, Cena's pretty much one and done. He'll probably come for a little bit, but yeah. What's up, Malty? What's up, Mike? Edge is far. Edge. I mean, Edge is still playing the heel role. If they make him a babyface again, I wouldn't mind Edge versus Reigns. But of course, Reigns wins. But I wouldn't mind if you know. But they made him a heel going into Mania, which was kind of odd. I mean, at the end of the day, you want Roman Reigns to have his shine, and they could have had Edge have a kind of a meaner streak as a babyface. Should Jeff have more run as WWE champ? No. I like Jeff, but the way that they're doing, it's going to take way too long, like to try to salvage what they've destroyed, unfortunately. Thoughts on WWE work on New Japan? That's not happening, according to Tony Khan. He debunked those rumors. Why did they keep the title so long on Moolah? Because Moolah was running the show back in the 60s and 70s. Moolah was running the show. What's up, Paul? What I think about sexual chocolate going to AEW, how AEW keeps bringing in WWE guys. I actually looked at the transcription of a interview that Mark Henry had, and he was explaining why he left WWE. So, I agree with you I agree with you as far as um it's starting to feel WWE light, like how WCW and TNA was. I'll give you that. I mean, especially if they're not doing anything with the people that they bring in, um, it becomes it becomes that feel, like that WWE light feel. I mean, WCW, TNA, feel. And if they're not bringing people in to actually make them appreciate um, the business, it's a bad idea. I'm glad they finally start to do something with Sean Spears, because it was a lateral move for him for a while. Brought in FTR. That was a good call. Definitely made them feel more important. Christian Cage, the journey's still out for me with Christian Cage, and I like Christian a lot, but it just seems like he wanted to wrestle again, and probably WWE, because the concussion stuff, probably were more reluctant. But I like Christian a lot, man, but I'm just not feeling a big feel from him yet. Leo Rush came back, and I don't know if that's a one and done thing, but yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, okay, let me read the Mark Henry quote real quick. He said his deal was up. I'll just read it. My deal was up. It's not something that was recent. I can go back 5 or 6 months and wanted a position in a WWE office. I talked to Vince himself, and he said, "Write it up. You're someone I'll listen to." I was told that there was a lot of cleaning house and cuts that were happening, and there were a lot to come. I had seen hundreds in the company go. I felt valuable enough that I wasn't going anywhere. When your deal comes up and the rights come up as to where you're going to go next, I wanted to do more. Always wanted to do more. If I can't get that opportunity, I have to look for that opportunity elsewhere. So he said that he talked to Vince. Vince said, he has a kind of an older brother. He looks at Vince as an older brother, and although Vince is old enough to be his dad, but a lot of times, people do have the older brother relationships, which I have a few of those. Yeah, Mark Henry's 49 and Vince is like 75. So, yeah. So he said, it's like calling an older brother and saying, "Hey, stuff happens, fights happen, but there's been a time where he refused an offer before that was more money. He wanted to stay loyal." Vince said that, you could tell that you're loyal. He said that I don't want you to leave, but understand if you feel the need to, if you find yourself having better options, you can go ahead and go. So he wanted a position in the office. He said he started finding himself in the production truck more than the ring and catering, because he always felt like he had that executive type of role to him. So he wants a position in the office. So apparently AEW is giving him what he wants. So there you go. Have I interviewed Sin Cara before? Nope. I've not. Have you seen what fans are doing in NBA games? No, I have not. Only watched. I've kept score. Like I've kept paying attention. I've been paying attention to playoffs slightly. I'm a big Bulls fan, and Bulls haven't made it to the playoffs in like 5 years. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. So, as much as I love sports, as much as I absolutely love sports, it's hard for me to watch NBA anymore because I'm a big Bulls fan, and the Bulls have not been very strong for a long time. The Bulls Bulls were a '90s team. I mean, they made it to the playoffs a few times in the 2000s. They had some studs. They had Derrick Rose and Kirk Heinrich and Jimmy Butler. But yeah, yeah. So let's and I keep swapping coaches. Like in the 2000s, they went from after Phil Jackson lost, they went to Tim Floyd to Bill Barry, Bill Cartwright, Pete Myers, Scott Skiles, Pete Myers again, Boylan, Vinny Del Negro, Tom Thibodeau was there for 5 seasons. And then Fred Hoiberg was there 4, and then Jim Boland again, and then now Billy Donovan. The Bulls are just not good, man. It's just like, and they haven't been to the playoffs since 2016. So right now it's a 4-year streak since they've been to the playoffs, unfortunately. So, won the first round against the Bucks, lost against the Cavaliers in 2014, lost the first round against the Wizards 4-1 in 2013, beat the Nets in 7. I think that's probably the last year that I really got into like the Bulls. Because Joakim Noah was still there. He was doing a really good job. But lost to 2010 and 11 was good because Derrick Rose was there. And then Luol Deng was from Duke was there in 06. Ben Gordon, he was there. Back in 2004. Didn't make it to 2007. And then went on 98 season, 99 season, 2000 season, 2001 season, 2002 season, 2003 season, nothing. No playoffs at all. Nothing. 6 straight seasons with 0 playoffs. Terrible. Then lost the first round in the Wizards in 2004. Lost the first round in Heat in 2005. Sweep the Heat actually in 2006. Then lost to the Pistons in 6. Sweep the Heat in 4 in 2006 and lost to the Pistons in 6. Didn't make it 2007. Lost to the Celtics in 7, first round. Lost to the Cavs in 5, 2009. 2010 was probably their best because they lost to the conference finals against the Heat. But the Bulls have been very suspect, man. Suspect. So, Aaron, to answer your question, I haven't really seen what fans are doing in NBA games. I keep up with the score, but I did watch the second half of the playoff game between the Nets and the Golden State. And I watched the finals for a number of years when, Steph Curry, they were just dominate and win title with Golden State. So I didn't watch a lot then, but as far as like game after game after game, I haven't done that in a long time. I love sports, so I watch SportsCenter and I'll follow up with what's going on, but NBA is one of my least favorite sports as far as watching. Of course, college football. Everybody knows I'm a big college football fan. Love college football. Italian Tamina. I'm glad that Tamina won her first major championship. She won a 24/7 championship, but okay. But I'm glad Tamina finally got something for sure. Why? I don't know why. Jungle Boy pulls off major upset and then MJF gets the belt off No. Mike. No. Jungle Boy is the world champ. No. Ask Dr. Chris. Let's see how many we got. Good getting the cheap heat in NXT. Yeah. Well, I mean, Eli Drake, LA Knight, he's always been good against cheap heat, which I like. I appreciate it. That's why I think that he's a rare breed, man. He still has one of the best mic works in the business. And I think that that cheap heat factor actually helps his character quite a bit. Yeah, Michael, I was thinking about that too. I sure was. I was thinking about it. Top 3 Gerald lines. Stone Cold. He's running like a scalded dog, and we're live, pal. There you go. Edge and Drew. Sure. Perhaps. If they had worked out for him, I just don't know with WWE, man. I mean, because I don't see them pushing non-WWE guys. Like, I don't see Okada beating Roman Reigns or something. I mean, although that would be a great match, but I'm a big Okada fan. He's in my top 3. So I just don't see WWE doing that. Vince looked great in Mania for 75. I mean, body-wise, yeah, but he looks like he's stressed out for sure. For sure. Oh, wow. They're throwing bottles, popcorn, and spinning on NBA players. What a way to come back. Such a terrible, jerky moves for people all this time. Lapsed. And then you're going to go ahead and do something stupid like that. What a maroon. All right, y'all. One time. Bugs Bunny, what a maroon. All right, y'all. I think we're going to close up for tonight. Good AEW review, y'all. Be sure to check me out on Patreon. Thank you so much for the patrons. Actually, I just gave a patron, a top-tier patron, a T-shirt. He told me he received it. So you see that T-shirt right there, the gray one? Ooh, there's a gray one right there. If you get a T-shirt, I usually give the black ones initially for the first 3 months. First 6 months, you get a personalized shirt, and you get to be a part of the Ask Chris, and to be Ask You, whoever you is, you. So be sure to do that. Patreon.com/pancakes and power slams. All right, ladies and gentlemen, episode 479. 479 episodes in the books. Until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody.